the things we fought hard to be and become. Do you know now you don't even have to be certified in physical education? They could just hire a substitute teacher in physical education. Now they took and lost the essence, the value of a great athlete or an individual being in those spots. You know, I was humiliated when somebody didn't even give me an interview because I was in the wrong side of the town as an athlete, former Broward County basketball superstar. Did not even get an interview to a certain school, and I'm not gonna call the name, put them out there like that. It is a litigation, but you know, it's just embarrassing to come back home and not to even be able to do what you love and what other people have taught you and trained you to do and be. So let's talk about athletes. Let's rise up. Let's fight against poverty. Fight against giving all your power and strength to companies, to industries that give you nothing back. You know, but 2%, and they keep the other 98%. Come on, guys, we gotta wisen up. We gotta have our own systems, our own stuff that empower each other, keep our jobs well and alive. Every professional industry does that, especially the medical industry. You know, the medical industries are so powerful until every president of the United States of America have had to deal with the medical doctors, because the medical doctors, basically because they make so much money and they're needed, they are basically could run their own system. You see? So we have to really, athletes come in there just like medical doctors. We would love to team up with medical doctors and lawyers since we need them more than anybody else. Of course, we have all these agents, but attorneys work very well in those places as well. And medical doctors, you know, who could come to us and say, look, they were injured on the field during this time, and you guys owe them. You know, throwing away your elderly athletes and throwing away your elderly teachers and stuff. This is ludicrous, guys, especially not in America. We should stand up and fight against poverty. Older people, you've given your life 20 years plus. Now, some service should come back and say, not just disability, that's the only thing we have, disability, and we're excited about that? Come on, guys. Other services, Broward County School Board should come back and say, you know what, Dr. Yvonne Baxter-Millie, you've been a great athlete here at Broward County School Board. You've been a great teacher here at Broward County School Board. We want to make sure you retire healthy. What's all this sabotaging? Get somebody younger to take the older one's place when they're hurt, they're injured. They can't go shake and bake on the court like they used to, play with the kids and play football like they used to. And so they bring in their elderly, impoverished situations where we don't have anything to leave for our children's children, even after services of 20 years. Come on. I personally think after 10 years, if you've given your life to an industry or company, they should say, you know what, let's start looking down the line and seeing how we can be a blessing to this man or woman as they enter into the retiring states of life. Come on. Let's start in America, because China is doing a great job. But this country needs help. We need to help. Athletes, you guys are pioneers. You're not the last. You're not the dumbest. You're the smartest. You're smart. You're incredible. People pay thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to not only come see you, they bet on you. You know, no, I don't believe in betting and gambling, but I mean, I believe in it because it's there, but I don't do it myself. But that's, these are facts that contribute to our failures, that we don't believe that we're the head and we're not the tail. We're above only and we're not beneath, you know? And that we need to make better contracts and dealing with stuff. That's why I just went with Michael DeSuze, and we're branding IKConnections. It's just going to, sportswear is just going to be like a Nike or Adidas. It's IKConnection Sports. We have our own clothes line, our own shoes line, our own car line, our own company, like Mercedes. You still a Mercedes. Hey, Mercedes, we'll let y'all brand IKConnection. IKConnect, a car dealership. You know, it's just so much power in our possessions that we can't just give it all away. So I want to encourage every athlete around the world to come together and to connect. You know, I thank God for LA Fitness with Les Leslie, he came along, and Leslie Garford came along and said, hey, look, Dr. Bentley, let's do something. I'm going to put you in on this Tuesday coming up, September the 14th. Just come and let me stand, show my books, tell my story, give up my cards. Come on. I mean, no, my story is not as great as Serena Venus. They're their sisters, but guess what? I got a story. And thank God for people who allow me to tell my story wherever I go. Because my story is helping someone else. And that's the power of a story. So let's come out of poverty. You know, write a book. Leave a legacy. Start a foundation. Do something to help the next generation come out of poverty. So I'm going to read again some more scriptures here, because we're coming out of poverty. We're coming out of misery and poorness. We're coming out of that. And we're going to help build and establish each other and leave legacies for our children and our children's children. So I'm working on major projects with people, and at any given moment, any of those problems any of them could take wings and fly. Just one contract. I like what Prophet Cynthia always said. She said, just one contract. That's all I need, one contract. So if you're out there and you have that contract, you can actually call me at 1-800-471-9708. Again, that's 1-800-471-9708. Or you can email me at new_improve33@yahoo.com. Again, that's new_improve33@yahoo.com. Proverbs 28 and 22, it says, he that has to be rich has an even eye, and considereth not the poverty shall come upon him. He that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with his tongue. Whosoever robbeth his father or his mother, and saith, it is not transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer. Wow. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whosoever walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. When the wicked arise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Wow, that's something. See, we're allowing dope dealers, people to arise, the wicked to arise, people who double-minded, saying that, you know, we love God, we love Jesus Christ, and they're going out there, they're sleeping around, they're doing all kind of ungodly things, but yet still they're saying they love God. I can tell, I mean, I know if you're struggling and you really want to be free, and God has people who can help you really be free if you really want to be free. Again, you know, there's a lot of great churches, but, you know, I'm promoting my church because I'm giving everybody in the world the opportunity to have an IKConnection powerhouse system for you and your family. And you can make it your own. Again, Dr. Abrams has allowed me to allow other people to come in and actually have your own company, your own finance, your own stuff, you know. So let's not get jealous one of each other and try to pull one person down when you have the opportunity, just like I do, to have your own show. You have the opportunity to come in and just be the best person you could be. Okay? Again, we're talking about fighting against poverty. I'm going to go back over some of the scripture because I think the scripture is really good. And it's Proverbs 28. And it's talking about he that has to be rich has an even eye. Okay, he that hastens. So you hasten to be rich. That's all you think about. You know, your head twinkling. Hey, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. And you hasten to be rich. That's all you want to do is be rich. The Bible says you have an evil eye because you're looking to be rich at any cost. You know, again, I thank God for my conversation this morning with Michael D. Jesus. We were talking about, we were looking like we both are poor right now, and we're trying to, I mean, we're rich in spirit because we've been helping a lot of people. But we were talking about ideas and collaborating, how we can make IKConnection sportswear that he's developing, more powerful, more marketable, and we're just collaborating ideas of how to not be poor and impoverished. And we were believing God that, hey, look, you know, we met at Burger King, and I was like, you know what, Michael, I mean, I'm not going to say, I said this is our last time eating at Burger King. He said, I haven't been at Burger King in a long time. I said, man, this is our last time eating at Burger King. No disregard for Burger King. Burger King, McDonald's, we love you guys. You've been there for us for many years, and we welcome you to become sponsors of our IKConnection Sports Show as well, because you guys have nutritious stuff that you're selling also as well. But I said that just in a sense of, you know, right now this is affordable for us, but we're fighting to help bring athletes as well as ourselves out of poverty. And sometimes some of the greatest people on the earth, again, they come right from poverty. T.D. Jakes, he just had one cent. Woman died loose. Everybody loved him. Now he's out of poverty. Boom. Just a whole lot of people just came right out of poverty, supernatural. People don't realize Abraham Lincoln was poor. Cinti Portier was poor. They just believed, they had a vision, and they followed their vision. And their vision made room for them, and they brought them great wealth, you know. People don't realize that Michael Jordan, he got cut from his high school basketball team. Now he was he has some of the greatest moves in the world. I guess Kobe Bryant loved him because Kobe Bryant modeled some of his moves. They say they both did some of the same moves in the history of time. It's not amazing. But I'm gonna go back. So we don't be hasty to be rich. You know, if God make us rich, that's fine. If God never make us rich, we're okay. But we like to thank God for the opportunity to try and to have a vision and have a dream. And we hope one day, just one contract, guys, one contract could, and I have a lot of them right before me. All I need is one contract just to be faithful. I have contracts, and I just need people to pay. I just need people to pay. You know, one guy went to a seminar, and one guy said, I said, well, I have my own company. I'm so proud of my company. Dr. Abrams said, girl, if you love IKConnection company so much, let me take this thing in control and help and build it and bring it where it's supposed to be, since you love it so much. I mean, I love it that much because I know that if people pay me for the services that I've already done for them, I'll be a billionaire. Like right now. It's just that simple. But I work on integrity. I work on people's honesty, and unfortunately, it's what we get. You get poverty. You always got to be like Marco. Marco's like, no, I have some calls today, and they're going to pay us straight up front. I'm getting the money now. I'm not going to be like you, Dr. Bentley, and trust people to pay, and they don't pay, you know. So, I don't know, I may become a collector, Amy Wiley, just go around and start collecting my cash. Just a joke. But anyway, we're talking about athletes coming out of poverty. So that's why I don't feel like I'm in poverty, because so many people owe me money, and most of the things that I'm dealing with, it was scandal, it was fraud. People came and did fraudulent situations and put me in situations. I'm looking like, okay, only the Lord can bring me out of this. I was talking to Dr. Abrams, and I was letting her know that Dr. Abrams, a lot of this stuff is fraud and predatory lending. And every time I get out, somebody else comes with something else and case me up in it. So, you know, I just have to believe God, because I keep trying to help people, people helping people, and people get in situations that sometimes are undescribable, and your name is on it. And so people come after a person they feel a little more responsible, you know, and that's unfortunate, but that happens a lot. And so, you know, parents have, you know, sometimes parents have people they love on drugs, their kids, or, you know, and they go the extra mile to try to save their kids, and sometimes going the extra mile, pull yourself in the ditch, you know. But I thank God, again, for building an IKConnection system and getting people in here who would support me and help me. You know, my older sister and I was collaborating, we're talking, and she said, they don't want you to have this much publicity. I said, really? I said, well, do they know that I have powerful people in my life, like a Dr. Marcia Abrams, who has me on her shows, and I'm in 192 different languages. So we pass publicity. I had a lot of publicity when I was a kid growing up. I was in Sun Sentinel. You can still pull those articles. I was in Sun Sentinel News. And even when I was at University of Houston, we were on television. Cloudland University, when I played in the NAIA championship, we were always on television, even as an athlete. So we passed me having publicity. Dr. Yvonne Baxter Bentley, I actually made the IKConnection sports show based on my name. It's a spreadsheet. That means that it's a foundation. People can walk on the foundation as long as you walk on it in God and you're not trying to trample or use me, you know, or abuse me. But I come to really help people genuinely. You know, again, not to be taken advantage of, but to just really help people. That's my heartbeat. And the Bible is real, and I do it based on biblical terminology. And the Bible says, if you give, it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, shall men give unto your bosom. Again, so I expect men to give unto my bosom. I expect people to come and to help me out. And I thank God I got a nice, healthy bosom. So, brethren, when you're ready to give, go ahead. You can go to www.wwicwww.com. Again, my website is www.wwic.com. Don't be stingy. Let's get kids out of poverty. I started what you call Yvonne Baxter Bentley Sports Foundation. Again, helping kids come out of poverty. So I want to keep going by talking a little bit here about the Olympians athletes. You know, there were some Olympians athletes, John and Carlos, who came against poverty. And you can read about their story at www.smithsonian.com. And this is a story about 200-meter sprinters at the 1968 Olympian Games. And it's in Life magazine photos. John Dolphin, he was only 20 feet away from the podium, and he wanted to make a stand. Him and Nick Simon, they wanted to take, they wanted the Olympians, it was John, Carlos, and he wanted to make a stance against poverty. Isn't that amazing? Here this man go to the Olympics, you never know where he grew up at, where he came out of, but he wanted to make a stance against poverty, guys. Poverty is just not in Africa. And I know we love our African brothers and sisters, guys, but poverty is right here in America. You should see the statistics of people have to go on welfare because the fathers abandon their children, and now you got women abandon their children. So the welfare is booked. And now you got men who need welfare. Again, we got disability welfare. I was like, Lord, God help us, Father. Well, we can be financially independent, and all this charisma and athleticism that we all have, we have to use wisdom. Sometimes you can marry the wrong spouse, and your spouse just take you straight to poverty. You have to be careful. Out of spite and envy, you just never know. See, I don't want to get into that, but we deal in a world that's a spiritual world. It's not just a natural world. There's a spiritual side to everything. So I was reading Proverbs 6, and it was talking about the strange women. So now people attach spirits on you, and you slept with them, and you become one with these people. Now you schizophrenic because you slept with all these different people, and you got multiple personalities. So all kind of stuff is going on. And I'm not the professional on that. If you want to know about multiple personalities and all that, you could call Dr. Donna Davis. Is very good psychologist, licensed from Nova University. A very powerful woman who knows medicine. And again, I promote the Wilford McKenzie family, Roma McKenzie. They're my doctors. I have some powerful dentists, a gentle dental sage. Dr. Z is my doctor, and I'm doing some amazing things on my dental thing. But keeping me out of poverty, even working with me, knowing that I don't have all the straight up cash to do this stuff, but they're working with me to assist me. And again, trying to keep my kids out of poverty, guys. We come up in the fame of athletics. So again, go at www.w